Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of Factorio. Now, I'm out in the middle of the wilderness because something caught my eye. Over here I saw a small red dot and was wondering if that was just my imagination or not, so I decided to explore it a bit. Turns out it was a red dot. Let's move a bit. Oh gosh, that's a lot of awesomeness. So we got our first enemy base right over here, and it's a small-ish one. Not the smallest one I've ever seen, but basically it means that the locals are actually around, and yeah, we are not alone in the universe, so something to keep in mind. So what I've been doing is just selecting a bit of research to go on. We finished our electronics, and that opens up a lot of things. So for instance, we have our smart inserter, which can be connected to a certain network, circuit network. I have no idea what that means, but eventually we'll find out what that is. And it allows automation, advanced electronics, lab efficiency. Those are the three things we have access to, but it also allows automation 3, electric energy distribution, as well as rocketry. So that is definitely something we're going to want to get into soon enough. Now, with that base over there, we're going to have to be careful in what we do, but at the same time, we don't really need to. We at least know thine enemies, so if we needed to, we can put some sort of turret defense over here. We are going to need turrets, however, and to get better turrets, we're going to need better networks, etc. Personal laser defenses are obviously a little out of the way, so we're going to want explosive rocketry. Hoo-hoo, I like it! Obviously not something that we can assemble at the back of our garage, but we will certainly get into it. So one thing I'd like to do is steel processing. So that'll allow us to make steel out of 5 plates, and what that will allow are a bunch of different researches, such as a more efficient stone furnace type thing, yes, as well as a host of other things that we'll definitely want to do. Oh, and we have an enemy base here. Seems there's 2 individual units, and that's something that we're definitely going to want to find a way to defend against. So what I'm thinking is that the next automation step we'll want is perhaps making these science pack 2s. Now, to make the science pack 2, we need transport belts and inserters. Transport belts, obviously, it's an iron and iron gears. Thankfully, we do have a production of iron gears, and we have left ourselves open to use it. So all we could probably do... Oh, look, steel processing done. Let's take a look at that in a second. We could get a line of stuff here and a line of stuff here. Siphon from this, but it's a little high. We'll probably need to kink that out down a bit. Out, down a bit. Yes! Okay, so in the spirit of that, we're going to need that, as well as inserters, which unfortunately require electronic circuits, iron gear wheel, and iron plates. By itself, not too bad. However, what that does mean is that we're going to need to have an automation that will allow us to use 3 ingredients. This one, unfortunately, allows only 2. So, to be able to actually do that, we will need a different type of research. Is it logistics, advanced circuitry? It is automation number 2, thankfully. So, assembling machines. That will require a total of 80 science packs. I don't think we have that. If we take a quick look, 11 and 12, definitely not. But we do have some things from our chest, so that will at least get us closer to our mark, and once we stall, we can actually continue onwards to do that. So, I'm thinking... Now, we don't really have much of a production line here. All we have are a bunch of mining drills, not going to help us much. And we're probably going to need a few more mining drills to actually have any sort of good processing line. What we could do is expand the stone furnaces. I think I'll make 3. Basically expand it that way. We'll need 6 inserters. 1, 2. And we'll start by making the belts. Now the belts, as I've mentioned before, they're going to require, thankfully, the regular assembling machine. Let's make 3 of them so that we have something worthwhile to look forward to. And what are we going to need? We're going to need to insert, 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 exert, exert, exert. Yes, that is now a word in this particular application. It obviously is a word. I don't make up words all the time. I do make up directions that things should go, so you know how I am. And we just need to do that, and now we have a bit more iron at our disposal. Once we fill up this chest, we'll have a lot more things. However, we don't really need to fill up this chest. However, we will anyways. Doesn't really matter. And we have enough copper that we shouldn't care about it for now. We will definitely need to speed up our copper production at a later point in time. So, while I'm building this, let's talk a bit about blood magic. Wow, that is certainly a conversation you do not want to open up with if you don't know the person. Hey guys, I'm here to give you a nice demonstration. Let's talk about blood magic. Wow, incredibly creepy and sketchy all at the same time. So let's actually continue on. So for those of you who may not know, I am the author of the Minecraft mod called Blood Magic. And the purpose of the mod is to use your own life essence to power a bunch of different systems in the mod. Can't go into much more detail than that. Well, I can go into it. I probably should. But yeah, so blood magic... how should I say this? Most of you probably know me from Minecraft, so I can probably explain it easily enough. Now, if you don't know me from Minecraft, you probably will have a harder time understanding. However, I will try as much as I possibly can. So, blood magic is obviously one of a few different types of magic mods that are currently in Minecraft. So, Thaumcraft, Ars Magica, a host of other different types are available. But blood magic is unique in the fact that it uses players' life essence to actually perform certain tasks, and generally, yeah, I don't know if I can make it sound any more creepy than that. So let's move onwards. So one thing that I am adding into the mod, and slowly but surely it is taking form, is a reagent system. So in the mod there are rituals, and what rituals do is that they alter the environment or entities' perception of the world or otherwise in such a way to pretty much further your own agenda in the world. Say, for instance, an interdiction ritual, which will push mobs out of the way quite forcefully, actually. It's kind of mean, cruel, unusual, and so fun. Anyway, so let's get this here, let's get this here, and make our conveyor belts. There we go. So now we're making our conveyor belts, and then all we need to do is take them out, and there we go, we have conveyor belts. So what there is now is a system in the mod that allows you to use alchemy to improve many aspects of the rituals to do more specialized tasks, such as, and not limited to, feeding your interdiction ritual with Aether to extend the range, adding things such as Earth as well as Stronger Earth, Terrae and Orbis Terrae respectively, to increase the range of various rituals such as growth rituals and other such things, and basically a bunch of old things. So currently the the reagent system is moving steadily onwards, and I think it is making quite a bit of progress. However, it is going to eventually be finished in the point where I'll be able to say, ha! I'm done all the rituals, I can go eat cake now. Always a fun thing to do. Eating the cake thing. Performing rituals in your own home may or may not lead to your untimely destruction. You have been forewarned. So, got that iron. I think everything's pretty much in use. Seems we're gonna need a bit more iron, however, so we are going to need to watch out for that. And I think our automation, the automation of our automation, unfortunately is a little untimely in this, so let's actually do that. There we go. So reagents, rituals, a bunch of other consortium of other stuff, as well as witchcraft, wizardry, and a host of other crazies. Now, what I'm eventually hoping to do is expand the system in different ways. So the reagent system's obviously limited so that you can use alchemy to do a consortium of a bunch of things. There we go, assembling machines. Let's make 2 of those, I suppose. That will basically kill our iron supply. I might actually explain it. Let's set it so that the maximum amount is there. And what do we need? We want advanced material processing. Unfortunately, that means our science pack is going to be needed, and I think before I use the science packs, I'm going to want to automate that. Unfortunately, there are other things in this game where you have to, like for instance, the 3rd science pack, you have to make 100 of them before you're able to automate the entire process, and yes. So, reagents. So, that's one part in the mod, and I'm going to want to expand on that basically so that it's as feature complete as possible. I want most of the... Currently the mod is in a live beta, so that... Sorry, live beta, open beta, pretty much the same thing, such that if you want to experiment, you are able to use the beta in your world, and you probably won't die from it. Let's actually go in at this, and maybe a good thing would be to make these inserters actually use our energy system instead. That should be a bit more wise, so we don't completely fail when we run out of coal. Still, we will fail, but we just want to have a bit more of a backup than we previously had. Anyways, reagent system to augment ritual system, all well and good. Now eventually I want to have something called the demon encampment system, so by using these ritual reagents in different ways, you'll be able to have it so that you'll be able to rip a hole in your world so that you'd be able to summon a host of demons to basically collect stuff from them. And the idea is, I think it can fit well enough with the mod that I'm not completely crazy to try it. What I am completely crazy is to try to have that much on me at a given time. Ooh, optics. Let's see, we can get a lamp. I assume this is going to light up our area, so we might as well go for it. However, still gated by that science pact. Oh well. Now, I'm hoping that by the end of this month, I'll be able to finish the ritual reagent system, so a bunch of other people will be able to actually use it. Electronic circuits, that's copper, as well as iron, so that's going to be annoying. Probably going to need a few more of these. Hoping to finish that soon enough for people to actually use. I'm thinking maybe by the end of this week, I'll have enough done in the system that I'd be able to have pretty much, barring balancing fixes, which obviously there will be much of, it'll be pretty much in a finished state. Some stuff that I have put forward suggestion-wise in front of me is not exactly the most easy stuff to implement, especially since a lot of it will require rewrites, like complete rewrites of some of the systems. For instance, changing how meteors act will require quite a bit of confoundering, and although it will end up being a fun system, it will no doubt become very difficult to do. Okay, science pack. I will eventually want to get some sort of steel processing. But, in the meantime, I have kind of I think 2 of those should be enough for all that I need. So I shouldn't worry too much about that. Let's see. That means all we need is energy and energy, I said. Well, I didn't actually say energy at that point, but oh well, I digress. Copper. Lots of copper. We'll get a lot of copper. Did I mention copper? Yes, some copper. We'll probably want 2 of these instead. It'll be a lot easier than what we had. And what we want to make with all this copper is we'll have all this copper dedicated to electronic circuits. That means, why do we need 2 of these then if it's just electronic circuits? I don't know. Anyway, so it is planned, it is working. I think I will have it in a more reasonable system, hopefully sooner rather than later. In fact, once I'm finished recording this tonight, I am going to work on it, so bear with me, it will come eventually. But yeah, the idea is to have demons invade your world so that you'll be able to gain more power from the demons. And by gaining more power from the demons, what I mean is you'll be able to turn yourself into some sort of demonic entity by a few methods that I'm not comfortable in fully explaining right now, since it's definitely not entirely fleshed out. If you hang out on the Blood Magic IRC channel on esper.net, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, along with a few fancy models that I have put forward for consideration, but definitely something that, well, it will be fun, mainly for me, because I can get to see so many. Let's just say I love the fact that death and destruction can occur and most likely will occur. That's all I have to say about that. Speaking of which, we got more iron, so we'll now still have a backlog. It seems that 1 mining drill is good enough for 2 furnaces, approximately. 2 of the normal stone furnace. However, I know that 1 steel furnace is good enough for 1 electric mining drill. Now, what's our pollution like? So, our pollution is such that we haven't alerted this community of locals to our presence. That's good. However, we are going to still need to be a bit wary of that situation. Speaking about wary of the situation, I think we're going to need to bring our iron up here. We still need to get all this iron, though. It looks like we're finally getting our iron to trickle down. However, we do need... Let's just set this at 1 stack. I think a stack at a time is good enough for us. And we will eventually need to grab this. So difficult having this lake here. Come on, why do you have to be like that? Why are you like so? Speaking of which, what's our energy? We're just making enough, pretty much. Okay, so... want regular circuits, which are just going to require, I think, just the copper as well as the iron plate. Am I right? Yes, I am indeed right. So we could bring the copper down. Yeah. Bring the copper down. Have it dedicated for this stuff. If we need all this other stuff, we can build an underpass type. There. And we probably don't need this or this. Then the circuits can go up this. Or up here, actually, would probably be a better way. 2. There. Also want there. Yeah, that'll work. 3. And we'll want you making circuits. So now the only thing we need for this is to bring our iron over this way. So now we actually have some circuits. And what we need to do with these circuits is obvious. We need to actually use them. Imagine that! So we need iron plates and iron gear wheels. So our iron plates we can bring. Am I going to have this dedicated enough? Ooh, that's one problem that I didn't foresee. Probably going to... Is this going to be able to grab it? Probably not. Let's take this, move it over here, and we're going to need to... how many things are we going to need for this? Just the iron gear wheels and the iron plates and the the electronic circuit thingamabobbers. I am a little wary about adding all these to the same conveyor belt, so let me just pick a spot for this. And let me just craft a few essentials. Okay, essentials crafted. Let's get a conveyor there, and I realized that I had a splitter over here, so I can simply use this and not have to worry about an extra there. And now we have the gears, so I suppose that's good. And what would also be good is if we move this here, or here, and use long arms, so it's like that. Would we be able to reach everything? It might be able to reach everything. There. And we just need probably one more and one more there. Like the right thing, dang it. You know what would be good? A lamp. Let's actually get some light now that we have the ability to make it. There we go. Maybe a bit of light down here. Hopefully not. Nope, not exacerbating our energy reserves at all. So that's good. And we probably need to actually set this. So let's set that to there. Good. Now all we need is iron here, which we can probably make by making a few of those. There we go. Probably that. As well as press right button, please. Not the right button, the right button. Probably can't put that there, can we? Dang it, so many things have to be done perfectly to actually make a functioning system. It's kind of why I like this game. It's not it gives you all the tools to actually succeed. However, it doesn't coddle you so that you succeed all the time. It just gives you enough so that you have the ability to, but you don't have the outright, well, ability to. The day is not complete without a telemarketer call. Okay, so probably I'd say that we need to remove this and remove this. What we could do is, if we wanted to, we could have an extra chest right there collecting enough for, once again, just a stack of those. Bring these back. And then transport belt all along here so that we go past here. I'd say. No! Fudge. I broke it. I broke it. Dang you. Dang you to heck. Blarg. Go well. And then we'll just have this. Probably here. Yeah. And 3. Bring that there. Probably enough. Yeah, probably enough. And then we can just bring this up here. Not there, obviously. Not going to give us exactly the best stuff in the world if we put it there. And then just one view. There. And there. We'll want to craft our science packs. There we go. And now, after quite a bit of a long, arbitrary, and probably completely pointless process, we managed to create all of the things that we needed. There we go. Actually get our energy, and hey look! We need a few of you. Thank you. Da-da. Still failing at life in general, but that's usually how these things work. So, ironically, I think we need a few of these. Not quite close to the irony that I'd request in a general civil conversation, but you know how things go. So now, once I actually get everything sorted, we can now get all of our Science Pack 2s that we desire. And if we so choose to accept it, we can do the exact same thing and make another one. I think I'll do that. Okay, we got a bit of time left. We have a few science packs at our disposal. However, we do need 50 for the ability to make all of that. So that's not something we're going to be able to right away be able to do. Yes. One thing that we might want to partake in is... Let's see, can we make any turrets right now? And if so, what is required? We need quite a bit of iron. We need a bit of copper. And how's our copper? Copper is at a decent standpoint, as well as our iron. You can probably, well, make a whole consortium of iron magazines. Though you don't want to see the Iron Times or anything. That's a horrible newspaper at my university, by the way, and you can probably find out where my university is by that information, but I kind of don't care right now. Okay, let's just make a quick tour of what we have. Got some of that. We got some enemy bases finally located. Got some radar, some tough talk, and apparently, by the way, pressing C, you can shoot your gun at something that doesn't really need gun shooting at, but you know how I am. Well, you probably don't. You probably think I'm a little bit crazy. You're probably right. So let's actually go to something a bit more constructive. So, got our Science Pack 2s. We're going to need a few more things. Let's just get that. We only have 17 of them. Is there any quick, small research that we can do that's not going to require us to break the lab bank? Military, as well as armor crafting. In fact, I don't know why I don't actually have any sort of armor. It seems a little stupid right now, considering that I actually do have local bases around me in an area that, well, eventually I will get attacked by the... In fact, I'm almost going to get attacked by that group over to our southeast, so maybe just getting 3 turrets and a lot of ammo would be good. Let's not make that right now. We're just going to need to make one of these, as well as a whole lot of ammo. Praise the Lord and pass the ammo, as one of my severely redneck friends says. Yeah, I have weird friends, by the way, in case you haven't noticed that. So let's place down a turret. We have 3 turrets here, and let's actually give us a little more space here. They're kind of big, bulky behemoths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only have enough for 4 each, I'd say. There we go. And now we have some means of mediocre defense. Let's look over here. Are there any things that are actively... There's roving packs. Now, here's an interesting thing that I think I figured about the AI. The AI seems to be, well, pollution-based. I've already described that in a previous episode. However, and also lower pollution to higher pollution, that's generally their method of travel. One thing I've noticed is that they will basically flock towards your base, so they'll come from this direction, ignore the turrets, and they'll come try to find the highest polluting thing. They'll probably take out a few of these burner drills, or they'll take out the transfer belts. Basically anything that they can find, they'll try to wreck, and they won't care about anything else. However, if a turret starts firing at them, obviously they are going to drop what they're doing and attempt to take down the turret by any means possible. Now, this method obviously is not the best because I kind of need a few stone bricks, and the way to make stone bricks is through a furnace and cooking a bit of stone. I do have a lot of stone, so probably a good idea would be to burn all of this stuff up in maybe a manual furnace? I might as well do that. Good way to end up the episode. Okay, do that. Do that. We'll have a chest. Perhaps maybe just one chest would be good enough. Here we go. 3. Electrify it, and that's probably not what we want to do. And where's our furnace? There we go. There we go. And if we put 24 coal in there, slowly but surely this will make a few stone bricks. Not really automated in the sense that every tiny thing is figured out, but automated in the sense that I will be able to leave for quite a bit and be able to basically get a bunch of stone that I wouldn't have been able to have anyways. And that is good because I will need it for a steel furnace, and that's good. So I think that's where we're going to have to end it today. I think we got enough done. We got some circuits done. We managed to make our nice lab 2s. It seems that these are the things that are the slow part. Circuit production, or is it iron plates? Okay, the iron plates seem to be a bit of a bottleneck. We'll need a faster way to make the iron plates, and thankfully that is coming down the road with our advanced material processing. So, well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Factorio. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Pew, pew, pew. Dang it, I have to be pointing at something. Will this work? Oh well. Have a wonderful day.